Welcome back to EDH Sports, everyone. Today we're going to speak on spring practice 2026 for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Maybe just a little bit of basketball and a little bit of baseball, because there was some travesties happened the last week in those two sports. So we might get into that just a little bit. But, let's get into this. Spring football has started, and there are some things that we were asking the other day about, what our offensive line is going to look like. Well, they've named 3 starters already. At least I believe it's 3. Jackson Lloyd is going to be our starting left tackle. Michael Carroll is going to be your right tackle, and looks like Mason Delgado is going to be our center. So there's some questions we need to answer. But here's the problem with that. A lot of these guys haven't played together before, so we're going to have to look for them to gain some continuity. We're going to have to figure out who our guards are going to be. And honestly, there's a world where I believe Michael Carroll actually moves over, and there's another guy, I believe he's from Mississippi State, that could play play tackle for us, and that would probably work out all right. But until they come to a decision, I know about as much as y'all do. Ryan Coleman Williams is looking to bounce back this year. I really think he is. I really think the kid is going to bounce back this year based on the videos that Alabama's been putting out, some of the pictures that they've been putting out. I am thoroughly impressed with some of the catches these receivers are making. If y'all have seen some of them, Latsier Brooks has looked really good in those videos. Noah Rogers has looked really good in those videos. And honestly, Ryan Coleman Williams now is he's looking pretty good. And if he can fix his problem from last year, which is honestly the T-Rex arms and the dropping the passes and the trying to catch everything in your body instead of putting your hands out in front of you, this kid's got, potential being an over 1,000-yard receiver this year, because I believe Alabama's looking to make him the number one, target on our offense. Our defenses, I haven't heard as much about the defense as I have the offense. So what I'm really going to be looking for this year with our defense is are they going to be less predictable? I love the system that we run, and the system that we run seems to be working very well. But there comes a point in the game when you're sitting there and they're able to guess exactly what coverage I'm about to be in. And they're able to, and all the stuff we do to try to throw people off, we're having to load the box. And, sometimes rush guys, pull some guys back that usually wouldn't rush. And honestly, what we really need to work on this year is getting our defensive line to be able to get in there and get some pressure on the quarterback without having to blitz every play, and open up our linebackers to be able to do more throughout the game. But that's okay. That's fixable. Those things are fixable. It's just spring ball. We will figure these things out before season. And honestly, overall, the only thing I look for this year in our football team improving on, because I am thoroughly convinced that Kalen DeBoer can mold a quarterback into whatever quarterback, he decides to go with will be all right. They're going to be okay. But honestly, do you guys think that our run game is going to get any better? Do you? I think it's possible. I really do. But we were sitting in the hundreds last year for run game, and we kind of left Ty Simpson out there to suffer, to try to put everybody on his back and win. Do you think the guys we added can... I'm very excited for Xavier Crowell. I believe A.K. Deer is a special player. Daniel Hill has lost some weight and is looking a little bit better than he did last year. He's looking a little like he's got a little bit more pep in his step and a little more get up and go. But part of our problem last year, and you can blame the offensive line all you want, you can go back and watch. Sometimes our running backs don't like to hit the hole right either. I don't want to get into a bunch of football jargon, because everybody runs their plays differently. I ran a very simple zone offense in high school. That's what we ran. And our running back had 4 options. He had A, B, C, cutback. That simple. And sometimes I see our running backs completely ignore holes opening up, or they're trying to run too quickly and get through the line too quickly before a block has had time to develop. Because sometimes you have to be patient as a running back and try to make it through the hole at the appropriate time, so that your lineman can get out there and block for you, and that's going to be all right this year. I cannot foresee it getting any worse, honestly. If it does, I'm pulling for you, Kalen, but if it don't get no better, we may be looking for a different guy. And I don't want to. I like you. Time to shift focus to our basketball. Our basketball has not played the best in the last few games. We had like a 20-point win against Auburn. Yeah, cool. Congratulations. Auburn's not that good this year. We went up against a pretty hot Ole Miss team in the SEC tournament and didn't even get the lead one time during the game. I think we cut it down to at most one, and that was what it was at the end of the ball game. But Alabama's had the same problem right now that I believe they've had for a couple of years, and it's just not enough defensive depth. We have all the offense in the world, and I think Nate Oates does run an offense where we score more than you do, so we don't need to play that great defense, which is good. But sometimes you just get in shootouts, you get in fights in games, and you need somebody to come back you up. I firmly believe that, Nate Oates' job, there's some people calling for it. Obviously, you don't remember Alabama basketball before he got here, but it's okay. I try not to myself. But anyway, seriously, if y'all don't remember Alabama basketball before Nate Oates got there, it was a travesty. It was atrocious. And I am pulling for him. But this team is a Sweet 16 at most. I think more than likely we're going to hit Michigan if we make it to the Sweet 16, which we have to make it there first, mind you. We're not going to beat Michigan if we play like we did the other day. There's opportunities where we could indeed beat just about anyone, I believe, in the nation, and that's, we're getting hot. But we're not gonna see any success if we can't get in there and, it's live by the three, die by the three. If you just get in there and play a little defense, get you one more big man instead of just having one guy. And your big men are not traditional big men. I understand. I get it. And, I'm not sitting here pretending like I know more than a guy that's paid professionally to do this, but I have watched enough basketball to understand that when plan A does not work, we have to be able to execute a plan B. And Alabama's 9 times out of 10 a one-trick pony. We're about to, if we're not busting shots on you, we're not doing much to you, We need to be able to be versatile in our game plan and everything like that. And I don't like talking about stuff like this. This is the next thing that we're going to talk about. We had a player get arrested this week, and I pray for the young man because I don't want to see a dude mess up this young in life. He seems like a pretty bright guy. Seems like a very good guy, and it's Aiden Holloway. He was busted, and I don't know all the details, but there goes 18.5 points a game, I believe. He's got something like that, or it's along those lines. But man, we can't be missing those points, man. Right here at tournament time. Come on, brother. Do better. Do better. And Lord forgive me, I'm not judging him, but that's just, I don't know what to think about that, man. I mean, right here, right at tournament time, you go and you get in trouble, and I don't know the details, so, but Aiden Holloway getting arrested, and I have no clue what's happening from here. I don't know if he's still on the team. I don't know what's going on with it. I simply don't. But if he's not able to play, you are missing a number 2 option in your offense, which the way our offense is playing the last few games, you can't do without that. Again, this is why I say I think we're only a Sweet 16 team. There's no way I believe that we can make up that production that quickly. Aiden Holloway's a special player. He really is. Believe it or not. I mean, but who knows? We might go out there and get hot and score 140 points a game and win a natty. I doubt it, but it's going to be rough for us, and it's going to be pretty bad come the Sweet 16. If we make it there, if we make it Elite Eight, it's going to get rough. Now we pick up with probably my favorite sport, and I hadn't had a chance to watch the game today. I felt kind of bad. We played South Alabama today. But our baseball team really messed the bed Saturday and Sunday and Friday. Now, where I think that we messed up is the same problem I think we've been having for a couple of years now. Once we get past our starting pitchers, if they get in a bind, there's no one to back them up. There's really not much to back them up. You know, we have a bad tendency. Once we give up 2 or 3 runs, there it goes. It's off to the races. We're giving up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runs. And that's exactly what Kentucky did to us. They just scored runs. I mean, it was plain and simple. It's not like they were doing anything spectacular. They were just getting hits. They were being patient in the box. They weren't swinging at trash. They played sound baseball and honestly almost embarrassed us. I wouldn't necessarily call it embarrassment because there was a couple games there we were making the comeback, but now mind you, this could all be a fluke. This weekend could all be a fluke. Kentucky's not a bad team. That's not what I'm saying, but I feel like we had every opportunity in the world to take the series. 2 of the games, I believe it came within 1 or 2 runs of tying the game or winning. I mean, what more can you ask for from your bats? I mean, and Justin LeBron was hurt for half the season or for half the series. So I don't think that we I just don't think that our pitching staff is quite where it needs to be right now. Even our starters. Now, mind you, Miles Upchurch looks like the best pitcher on our team by far. He really does. He looks better than Zane Adams. He looks better than Tyler Fay. Looks better than any reliever I've seen yet. Kid is a good pitcher. But at the end of the day, is that going to be the difference maker? One guy? Are we gonna just rely on Miles Upchurch to, help us out in the series the whole time? He can't pitch more than 1 day a weekend. So we're going to figure something out on that end. All right, I don't know if he needs to start a different pitcher and maybe move these guys to reliever. I don't know what's going to go on with that. I don't know what he needs to do. I'm, again, no professional. I'm just some guy ranting on the internet. But what more do you want from him? What more can we do to win ball games here? I'm a huge baseball fan, and last year we looked legitimate. And I think we're only missing one of the starting pitchers from last year that we had. What happened, man? We seem to have kept most of the bats that were in our lineup that were giving us some good runs. What happened? I don't really know. And there's some silver linings in here that I believe he's the Steele kid. It could be something else, but whoever he is playing right field over there, he's developing a better bat than Justin LeBron is right now. And Justin LeBron's batting really well. Justin LeBron could be the number 2 overall pick in the draft. And this kid looks like a better bat than him at the moment. So we will see where all that goes. But anyway, that's all I've got for the day. Thank you for tuning in to EDH Sports, and I will catch y'all later.